Ooh, so Vanessa, we are now live. I'm just waiting until I see some persons joining us so we can begin today. Are you ready?
Yeah, what's the difference between where it says private chat and
I said, I'll tell you after. I see that one person has joined us. Hi, guys. Welcome to Naturally Candid. The fact that you are here means that you're very much interested in learning about insurance because we have the insurance guru with us here today. But let me see if I can wait until a few more persons have joined us and then we'll just get into the meat of the matter. We have some exciting and interesting information to share with you all today. And I mean, I'm glad to come because listen, this is going to be so fulfilling for y'all. You're going to thank me later and thank Vanessa later. All right, so I have all the things in store for you. I see that 4 persons are now here. You think that's a good number to start with, right, Van?
yeah, 4 is good.
Yeah, I think 4 is good.
Coming in though, is it that you're the only one who sees that?
Oh, you're not seeing it? Well, I guess I'm the only person who gets to see it. It's on my screen, so I get the preference. I get the preference. All right, thank you guys for joining. For those who are just joining the live, my name is Shannon, and I'll introduce our host in a minute. But I want for you to do me a small favor, and that is to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell so that you can know whenever I upload. And if you like this content, don't forget to hit share and share out the content with your friends. So let me go ahead with no further delay and introduce our amazing guest today. And our guest is Vanessa Barrett, and she has been a financial advisor for just over a year and focuses on assisting clients with establishing and ironing out their financial portfolios through investments, emergency savings, life and critical illness coverage, as well as pension planning. Listen to me, Vanessa, the all works. The all works with money and investment. Talk to Vanessa. All right. She's passionate about her work and it translates to her performance at Sagicor as she's currently the Ligani branch rookie. Vanessa, you might want to tell them what it means to be a rookie. A big things around here, guys. We're not talking about no dibby something. When I say I want to just tell them, what does it mean to be a rookie?
It means year to date out of everyone who's been there for within 1 year, I am currently.
Woo! Awesome, excellent. Congratulations, Vanessa. You know, I'm just proud of you. I've seen your development over the year that you have been there from the beginning to now. And I must say a heartfelt congratulations to you. You work hard. We know how you work hard in these streets. And you know you deserve every bit of encouragement and every bit of praising that you get. All right, so Vanessa, to also passionate, she's a rookie, guys. She's a rookie of the Ligani branch. And when she's not working, you can find her chilling with family, working on DIY projects, or being witty on Instagram on her financial advisor page. So, guys, you can follow her at vanessab.financialadvisor. You can get some very interesting content over there. And if you really, really, really are serious about life insurance and having coverage, then this is the girl that you need to go to. Remember, I said follow her at vanessab.financialadvisor. Whatever. But yeah, all right. So as it relates to DIY projects, I must say, Vanessa, for my business, NC_collections JA, I did get that DIY light box. I remember you created a light box. And even though a long time you created this light box, like your girl is on there creating her light box, and I was able to create a light box to take my photos for my business. So these professional looking business photographs, they were inspired by you and that DIY light box that you created. Trust me, that's genius. It has been a lifesaver for me. You guys can check it out too at Vanessa Barresa. I think that's your YouTube name. Yep. Yeah. So she hasn't posted for a while, but guys, that light box is just I believe that it is. All right, with no further delay, I am sure there are so many others on here that are just waiting and wondering when is Shannon going to allow Vanessa to talk. So now it's your turn, Vanessa. So give us an introduction of yourself. Who is Vanessa?
The introduction you just gave, a summary, a perfect summary, but Vanessa is easygoing. I'm real with whoever I talk to. So you won't get the generic responses from me. You really, um, that's just because that's who I am as a person. I love what I do as a financial advisor. Some people think it could be boring, but I actually love what I meet people every day. And I truly believe that what I'm doing is changing lives. And outside of that, I'm pretty chill. That's about it.
And I can see that. I can see that in your work ethic, and I can see that based on the results that you have reaped so far. So Vanessa, thank you so much for introducing yourself. So that brings me now to my next question. How long have you been a financial advisor?
I have been an advisor for, I've been at Sagicor for a little bit over a year, officially contracted a little bit under a year. So I'm
A little bit
just
on.
about nearing my official birthday anniversary.
Yeah, I get you, girl. Wow. And you have been making so many waves already. So I can just imagine if you just get an opportunity to be there a little longer over time. Greatness, girl. Straight greatness. I'm proud of you. And I'm sure a lot of us are proud of you. I see that Abby Fletch says, loving this. Thank you for coming, Abby. And I'm glad that you love this content. I hope that it will be beneficial to you by the time we're done. All right, so that brings me to another question because I have a lot of questions for you. I'm sure my NC gang have a lot of questions for you too. For those who are just joining, don't forget to hit like on the live, share it out with your friends so that they can benefit from this content as well. Tashi Gazeta say good day. Good day, Tashi. All right, so let's get to the next question. Is this something you've always been passionate about or always wanted to do?
Honestly, I can honestly say I was afraid of money. Not even, there's no other way to put it.
Really? I will
Seriously,
never get that.
seriously, as a part of I still am a part of the Portmore Leah Club, and simple things like being a treasurer. No, I do not. I don't want to touch nobody's money. I don't want to keep it. And it's part of how I was brought up. We hear money is the root of all.
Of all evil. Mm-hmm.
Really, it is the love of money is the root of all
All
evil.
evil. Mm-hmm.
Any certain things, and I grew up that way until I grew up to realize that hey, this is not a way to live. My generation before me had to work until you reach retirement age. You have like 2 good years before you hit that problem. Like so, I genuinely made a decision that this is not gonna.
I don't know. You're a bit in and out. Like you're a little bit in and out sometimes. So I don't know what's causing that.
Can you hear me any better? Is it
No, man, I'm hearing you really clear right now.
okay?
Keep that going.
Turn on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not something I've always been passionate about. I won't say that as a little girl I wanted to be a financial advisor. I actually wanted to be a finance. But growing up and realizing what was happening, not only in my family, but typically Jamaican households where money is concerned. And from day one, starting at certificate training, I decided that, hey, this is the thing, this is it for me. And since then, that is where the passion started, and I'm still very much passionate.
I can see that, and you've been glowing. You've been glowing since you've been at Sagicor, and I am sure that a lot of amazing things are happening over there based on what I'm seeing on your socials. Like I say, it only gets up from here, no down. It only gets up from here. So thank you for sharing that with us, Vanessa. But you've taught me an excellent lesson through what you've shared. Not because it hasn't been a passion of yours from ever since. There's no time limit as to when you will actually discover what you are really passionate about. And as Vanessa shared, I've shared this in multiple videos that I've shared on my channel, is that for some reason people are afraid of money. And just the mindset of being afraid of money keeps you away from money. It keeps money away from you. Money detaches itself from you. So you end up in a whole cycle of poverty because the so-called money is the root of all evil. But is it though? Is it? Because we need money to survive. We literally need money for everything. So if we tell ourselves that money is the root of all evil, then money will automatically detach itself from you. So thank you for that powerful statement. I am sure that a lot of us can definitely relate to that statement. K Walsh org says good day. Good day, K Walsh. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you so much. All right. So what is your portfolio? What do you do at Sagicor?
So, as a financial advisor, I assist clients, and not only clients, just persons I day to day. So, before you become a client, I would actually have to have a conversation.
Okay.
Work together on things like life insurance, critical illness coverage. We touch somewhat on home acquisition. So, what persons do. This is a necessity for owning a home. We talk about pension planning because there are pension products as well as the emergency savings. We do have to go through your budget and just through some conversations like that, like the missing parts of the portfolio and what really is part. So that's basically what I'm gonna do.
I think I'm still hearing in and out. I'm not sure if my NC gangers are hearing you clearly or it's something on my end. If you guys are hearing clearly, can you please state that in the chat section? K. Walsh Org says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. First Timothy 6, verse 10 from the King James Version. Exactly what we were saying. It is the love of money that is the root of all evil. So it's not the acquisition of money is the root of all evil, but your love for money is the root of all evil. But unfortunately, not everybody is explaining that to individuals. A lot of persons are leaving out the love of money instead of just saying, oh, you need to have money to survive or whatever. So this bad connotation that is made about money because of people's misunderstanding of what the scriptures is saying, it just has to go. And it can go is when we ourselves make a decision that, hey, this will no longer be something that will hold me down. Abby Fletch says volume isn't clear. Vanessa, your volume isn't so clear on your end. I don't know if it's a microphone or something connected that you probably want to detach.
All right, working on
Right. Let me know if you're hearing a little bit clearer. Donna Marie Martin says, Amen. Understanding is key, very key. And it is important for you to understand for yourself and not let anybody try to put their understanding of a certain matter into your mind. So it's important that you read the word for yourself and understand it for yourself. There's nothing negative about having money. We need money to survive. It's just the love of money that will cause you to do certain things that is not of God that makes it something bad. Natanya Walker says, you are loud and clear, but Vanessa's audio is in and out. Yes, that's the same issue I'm having on my end. Speak, Vanessa, so I can hear if I'm hearing you.
I'm kind of put on a headset.
Okay. Okay, no, that's why I put on my headset because I realized from the last live that people were not able to hear me. So I put on an headset to make it work. All right, let's see if we're hearing now. So we're getting the gears on, guys. Don't forget to hit like on the live. Subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends. Remember, we can't keep this conversation to ourselves. We need our friends to be a part of it because when you grow and your circle grows, it only gets better from here. So share with your friends, like the live, subscribe to the channel. Let's see if we're hearing Vanessa now. Unmute your microphone.
How's it now?
Okay. Oh,
Much
awesome.
better?
We're hearing you
Okay.
very clearly now.
All
Are you
right,
guys
great.
hearing NC fam? State it in the chat if you're hearing Vanessa clearly now. All right, so Garthia go and says sometimes there's this guilt or stigma attached to wanting more for yourself, but this demystifies it. Love it. Exactly. Or
Hey,
it's
Garthia, Wagwan.
demystifies. Yes. Thank you for joining Garthia. Like everybody know, Garthia is such a small world, ain't it?
Listen, let me tell you.
It's a small world. Abby Fletch says, yes, Natanya, much better. Awesome. So the problem is now fixed. Excellent. So as we were saying that, I think we left off at where money is the root of all evil. Oh no, I think so. Where
Yeah,
did
that's
we
where we're.
Yeah, okay. So we can move on to the next question. Donna Marie Martin says hearing. Garthia says laugh out loud. I know, right? All right. So next question. What led you to become a financial advisor? Trick question.
I know a lot of persons will expect some answer that is like, oh, I'm into finances and I was always into this. But really and truly, I have a small business that I've put a pause on for a while. And I was working from home. It was profitable, not where I wanted it to be, but it was really profitable. But I just really needed a change. And a friend of mine was working on the cruise ship. And I said, you know what? I don't have any children. I'm not married. I'm going to work on a cruise ship. And it really was either the cruise ship or Sagicor, and I even how Sagicor even became an option is my unit manager. I don't know where Dane saw me or found me, and Dane called me for a year straight. And I was like, no, advisor, oh no, 1 year straight. And I said, here, what? Check me back a year later. If nothing changes in my life, I'll become a financial advisor. And he called me a year later, which I did not expect he would. So he called me a year later, and I was like, all right, so I'll try. It's a good thing I never picked the cruise ship, because I would have been out there when COVID first
Right.
came. But yeah, that is how I started at Sagicor. And as I said, from day one, from seeing what this is about, it was like, yo, I see where I had insurance long before I knew what it was. I did not understand what I was doing, why I had insurance at age 19. Oh, what is this? Didn't know what it could be used for while I was alive. And I just decided from that moment that, hey, I'm going to be a financial advisor, and I'm going to be this one I know how to be. And I'm going to make sure I do it differently from every other advisor there is. So that's what is happening over here.
So you say, this career path did not find it, but
Mm-mm.
it in turn found you. So no matter what happens, whatever your purpose is, it will definitely find you, even if you're running away from it. Because had you
Yep.
been on the cruise ship, what would you be saying now? Oh, I wish I chose the Sagicor option.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Because we see what had happened. But thank you so much for sharing that, Vanessa. For those who are just joining, don't forget to hit like on the live, share it out with your friends, subscribe to the channel. And Vanessa, before the audio was going in and out, was speaking about her portfolio. I think that's where we left off before. And you were talking about some of the things that you do. So you might want to go ahead and reiterate for the audience, because I don't think they heard it clearly.
Oh, sure. On a daily basis, I assist clients with long-term and short-term savings and investments. We do life insurance coverage, critical illness insurance coverage. We touch on your emergency savings, pension planning even. I know a lot of young persons that isn't the first thing we think of, because we're so young and invincible, it seems.
Yeah.
But we definitely have that conversation, and it really is just financial planning as a whole, but mainly your coverage, because what happens if something happens to you and you're not able to do what you plan to
Planned
do with
on
your
doing.
life, right?
Right. Thank you so much. I see Arlene Youngsam says, I'm late, but I have a question. You're actually early. We really just start kicking off into the discussion. So you can go ahead and ask your question in the chat section. And once you have sent it, I'll just go ahead and ask Vanessa for you. All right. So that brings me to the next question. Why should people get insurance? I know there are lots of young people on here. I used to be one of these persons who said, oh, me? What me doing insurance? What will really not benefit me right now? So why should we really get insurance? What's the purpose of having insurance?
All right. So everybody under the sun needs insurance, children included. All right. So reason, there are two different types mainly that Jamaicans will hear insurance and just think life insurance, and oftentimes I hear
Our
deadlift,
car insurance.
our car insurance,
Mm-hmm.
and oftentimes I hear, oh, it's deadlift. Why am I pay for dead? I hear that every day. And really and truly, why we need insurance, first of all, life insurance is a lot of us are earning the most in our household, our families, as young people.
Right.
Which means our parents depend on our income, right? Even if not wholly, somewhat, they depend on us, right?
Right.
And it's definitely the same, kind of the same. If you have children, no, the difference is they depend on you 100%, right? So if you are to pass on, they are okay with your life insurance money, right? So it
Right.
wraps up your final expenses. It's not a case where they have to be grieving plus applying for loans. That is additional stress. No, in addition to being able to wrap up your final expenses, your life insurance is a necessity for getting a mortgage because everybody wants a house, right?
Precisely.
Everybody wants a house.
Yeah.
No, if you do not have life insurance, you're going to end up having to backtrack and go get it. It's just that the longer you wait, the more expensive it is. So you might not start the process for a house right now, but you get life insurance because 5 years down the line, 8 years down the line, you know you want to get this house. You'll be paying that insurance premium that you were paying 8 years ago for the rest of your life.
But what though? What if they don't get the life insurance? I think insurance is necessary in terms of home ownership. So if it is that a person does not get life insurance to attach to that process of home ownership, they'll have to simply pay a separate insurance cost in the process of home ownership. Am I clear? Am I right on that?
That's correct. And a
Okay.
lot of persons don't know that it's insurance because it's called
Yeah.
Creditor Life.
Yeah.
And if you were to ask for a breakdown of your mortgage, you would see Creditor Life. You wouldn't see
Which would
insurance.
have been the insurance. So it actually
It
works
is
out a
life
bit cheaper
insurance.
if you get your own insurance and attach it to the home ownership process.
That's correct. You're using it as collateral because
Right.
a usual mortgage term is 25 years. So you're paying a mortgage for 25 years and your last mortgage payment is on a Friday and you make that payment. On the Saturday, if something was to happen to you, your family gets nothing because you're no longer covered. You've paid off your mortgage. So the thing with that is you're paying it for 25 years and nothing comes of it after, right?
Right.
If you were to assign your personal life insurance to that same mortgage, once you're finished paying the mortgage, you have full control of your life insurance policy again, and you can use that same exact policy and put on another mortgage. Probably this time you have somebody living in that home, and right there, that's rental income. And you're still paying the same small premium you were paying from you were 20 something.
Right.
It doesn't change.
And then for some people, they think that when, like, say, for example, they take out a mortgage to own a home, because I like to talk about home ownership. Yeah. And they took out that mortgage. And when they take out the mortgage to purchase the home, they think that when they die, then the persons who will inherit the house won't have a mortgage to pay. This is because of your life insurance, guys. So get in the know. It is because of the life insurance. So whenever you are finished, paid that mortgage with the institution, if it was a life insurance that the mortgage provider has been taking from you for that home ownership process, then after you're through with the mortgage, then you won't have access to that anymore. So I just want y'all to just bear that in mind. For those who actually were of the notion that if my dead, my people them we all right, same way, they won't have the mortgage to pay and blah blah blah. It's just
Not only
because
that,
of the life insurance. Go ahead, Vanessa.
not only that. So yes, the house is fully paid off, but none of your beneficiaries' name is on the title.
That's another thing.
A lawyer.
Oh,
So now a
oh.
lawyer has to be paid, and so much other paperwork. As I say, we have this notion of deadlift. Oh, am I no? It has to be in black and white. And if it is
Right.
not in black and white, your family could very much lose that home that you worked so hard to leave them, because they
Right.
cannot pay a lawyer to do the simple paperwork. So things like that we have to take into account. Life insurance is not just to bury you, it has to cover final expenses. Now, apart from life insurance, there is critical illness insurance.
Before you get to that, though, Vanessa, before you get to that, because there are some persons here asking some questions. I see N. Boswell says some people have both. Have both of what? Life insurance and home insurance. Clarify that for me, please. Arlene Youngsam says, what if your policy closed, the money is still there? What can that person do? All right, so I think what if your policy closes with money in there? What can the person do?
All right. So you're asking I'm assuming that when you use the word close, you mean lapse.
Yeah, I think it's a lapse.
All
Yeah.
right. So you have a couple options. It would depend on your situation though. So that's something that would have to be looked at personally. But you have options. You can either get a different policy, you can collect the cash from that on a check. Hopefully you do not buy yourself something nice that
and,
might
and
not be
and you
there
actually
tomorrow.
reinvest it into another policy.
Right? That you hopefully don't use the money that in something that will not exist next week. But you have options. You can, if the money is enough, it can even pay for a policy for a year and you don't have to look at it for another year. So you do
Right.
have options, but it would depend on your personal situation. So that is something we would need to look into. So you can always contact me, Arlene.
All right. So and if you want her contact information, they can contact you on what's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram is Vanessa B financial advisor, and my phone number is 884-3812.
All right, so that's 884-3812. So Arlene, if you have a policy, just to wrap up what Vanessa was saying, if you have a policy that has lapsed but the money isn't there, you can always reopen one with the money that is in that lapsed policy, or you can just simply ask them to give you back your money. So
And
you
then the
can
third
choose.
option, if it hasn't been lapsed for a long time, depending on the type of policy you have, it can be reinstated.
Okay, so that's a third option. You might want to go with the third option. All right, Maxine Hall says, loving the information. Thank you, Maxine. Thank you so much for coming. CM, Olande is when since Shannon start having live so early on Sundays. I didn't know about this. CM, that mean you're not following up on my post and my social media. I posted it on YouTube. I posted it on Facebook. I posted it on WhatsApp. I posted it on Instagram. It's there everywhere. Oh, you never get the memo? CM, well, just because I had to accommodate the guest a little bit earlier today, that is why the live is at 3 today. Usually I have lives at 9 p.m. on Sundays, but that has to do with the time available for our guests. So to accommodate our guests, I had to move the time up to 3 p.m. But keep updated with my YouTube post and my social media posts. You will be updated once you keep in touch with those. And Boswell says yes. So yes, she was saying that some people have home insurance and some people have life insurance. Certainly. Natanya Walker says interesting. Thank you, Natanya, for your comment. And Boswell says, is that necessary life and creditors separately? Is that necessary life and creditors separately? I'm not sure if I understand that question, but maybe Vanessa understands it. Vanessa?
Yeah, I can answer her.
Okay, go ahead.
It says Where did it go? Okay, is that necessary? Life and creditors separately. So if you have it separately, many persons do. They don't know that they're paying for insurance in their mortgage. However, if you were to use your personal insurance as collateral for your mortgage, what the mortgager would do then is recalculate your mortgage and deduct what they are planning to charge you for life insurance. So, in essence, there is no need to have both. It is still the same life insurance. It's just that with the mortgager's creditor life, there is absolutely no benefit once you have finished paying off the
Paying the
mortgage.
loan. Okay.
As well
Understood.
as the more you pay off the mortgage, the less they are covering you for, because it is the exact value of what is left for you to pay at any given time.
All
Right?
right, Vanessa. So I have a question on that though. When you attach your actual life insurance to the home mortgage, would you still be able to benefit as an individual from that insurance? Or it's
You would
just to the house now?
you would if you have a plan where you sat down and really worked out the numbers, because how it works to use your life insurance for collateral on a mortgage, the value of the loan is the amount of life insurance you need, right? So let's
Right.
say the value of the loan that you're taking is $15 million. It means you need $15 million life insurance, right? Now you could get
Right.
two policies, one for the 15 million for the mortgage, and then you could do your personal one. However, if we're just going to use one policy, me being a financial advisor, knowing you have children, knowing your parents depend on your money, I couldn't give you the dead $15 million, because they will still be left behind if something is to happen to you. So yes, the house will be paid off, but then you have another $5 million to help mommy and daddy, or another $5 million to add to whatever you put in place for your children. So you have multiple ways to do it actually. But in essence, you do not want your life insurance to just be paying a mortgagor, because you do have persons to think about, the ones that you love as well.
Okay, thank you for that information. So basically, if we're going to purchase a house and add our life insurance to that house, we need to first figure out what the mortgage would be like, and if we are in the position to put an extra dollar on it so that we can also have an additional amount for ourselves if any, in case of any emergencies, right?
But
All right.
ultimately, if you're going to be paying a mortgage, get your personal life insurance rather than pay
Credit
creditor
and
life insurance.
mortgage. Okay. Credit and life insurance. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for that. N Boswell says, okay, I think you just answered that question. Jess Inorarity says, are you saying money can be an elapsed policy?
It depends on what type of plan you have. If you have a plan that carried a unit trust amount, it is possible for your policy to lapse and there is money on it.
Okay, so there are different types of plans that would accommodate such. Okay.
Right.
So I guess it's all goes down to speaking to your insurance agent about those little undercover stuff, because we don't always get that information firsthand. Sometimes we get these information by asking questions. All right, unfortunately. So CM says, I asked you for your WhatsApp and I'll know you're not give me. CM, me don't tell a lie for me. Llewellyn Young Sam says, what is the number again? So Vanessa, I guess they're asking for your number.
Okay. So
Hold on, let me see if I
my
can actually type it in the chat. Woo, so many questions. Man. All right,
all
go
right.
ahead,
So
Vanessa.
my phone number is 884-3812.
So it's 884
Mm-hmm. 3812.
3812. All right, so that's Vanessa's contact. Say you want to ask something about life insurance or any investment from Sagicor, you can contact her
You
via
can
that
always email
number.
me as well. The email is a bit easier to remember.
Okay.
It's my name is on the screen, so it's my first name, Vanessa _Barrett @sagicor.com.
All right. So Vanessa Barrett at sagicor.com.
Underscore Barrett.
Underscore Barrett at sagicor.com.
Mhm.
All right. Arlene Youngsam says, okay, thanks for that information, but can Vanessa repeat that number, please? I guess that answered that one as well. Just in a rarity says they don't use the saving portion to automatically pay the premiums. That's the question.
Yes, that should be the case. Most times, it will automatically kick in and start paying your premiums until it cannot pay anymore. Right? So if your premiums are $5,000 a month and you have $18,000 in savings, that is 3 months of payments, but then that's 15,000. So that leaves $3,000. So that's how your plan can lapse and there's still money on it. Because at $3,000, we can't take a partial payment. So that $3,000 will literally just be there.
Okay, because I was actually wondering how could the plan lapse with money on it, but with that explanation, I get a clear understanding. CM says, "Me no use Instagram, but CM you use YouTube, and updates are also on YouTube, so you don't have no excuse." And Boswell says, "Wash hands." Boswell, I wonder why you wash hands. Please to share with us so we can know why you wash hands. Garcia says, interesting. Didn't fully understand the benefit ownership until now. You see,
Awesome.
Naturally Candid has a lot of gems thrown out around here for free. So all you need to do is to just like this video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and leave a comment. And also follow us on our socials. Follow me at Shan_inspire on Instagram, and follow Vanessa at
Vanessa B. Financial Advisor.
Right, so you get a lot of gems out here, so you don't want to miss anything. And Boswell says, so basically, I am paying money for my family to live when me dead.
What
Vanessa,
you are doing?
what can you say about that?
What you are doing is breaking a curse. You're breaking a cycle, you're breaking a curse, and you're making sure that your great grandchildren know your name. You know what's funny? I ask persons all the time, do you know your great grandfather name? Or do you know your great grandfather name? Anybody in this chat, do you know your great grandfather name? Because I am sure if he left you a house and a yacht and a nice inheritance,
must know him, of course.
his picture would be in the house.
But Vanessa, to be honest though, how many of us really interested in our great grandchildren, or we're not even going to know, or we're interested in them knowing us? Like, I would love that for me, yes, but is that a priority though?
For me, I have a little brother, right?
Yeah.
I remember going to school in Old Harbor, living in Portmore, and I kill up myself.
Is which school you used to go?
PCC, because I was going to be a flight. I was going to be a flight attendant, and I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I changed and said I'm going to be a chef. So make it fully in a hospitality. So I'm starting my career at school. You see what I'm saying? So my brother will not have to go through those things. I talk to persons oftentimes who say, I struggle, my pitting them off a struggle too. No, I cannot fight anybody for their mindset, and that's where it begins. It's one thing to be able to pay for insurance. You have to have the mindset to grasp the importance. You could have been the richest thing alive. If your mind is not there, there's nothing I can do to convince you. And honestly, it is not my job to convince you. It's you having to see it in yourself to say, hey, I'm going to be the one to change my family, as well as you want to make sure that going ahead generations after you is great. But for persons who seriously say, look here, I'm not supporting nobody after me, there is critical illness insurance, and that is why you need it. Because if you don't tell your family, say, look here, when I'm gone on your own, remember that if you get sick, you can't ask them for nothing, because you don't make such a statement. Right. So you will have to have your own. Just like how I know I post every day on Instagram, I'm a financial advisor. If I'm supposed to come on TVJ begging for money because I'm sick, I know I'm not going to get it. People going to be like, Vanessa, and you run me dogs? No. So I'm well aware that I have to set up myself. So you see, if you are a type of person to say, hey, it's just me while I'm alive, there's insurance for you too while you're alive.
All right. Thank you so much, Vanessa. I think Boswell, if you have anything to say on that, I guess you just comment it so that we can probably hear and know. All right. So Mona, I'm hearing a feedback. I don't know why. Ed. All right. Well,
Still hearing it?
all right. Let me see now. Still hearing a little bit of a feedback. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I changed something. No,
Nothing has changed. What are you hearing exactly?
I'm just hearing myself back again.
I'm
So it's
hearing
like
you
a
clear.
feedback. All right, as long as you're not hearing the feedback, that's good. Or not hearing it now, great. So Mona Lisa Coley says, is this Sagicor company she is talking about did not know you could get back dollars when the life insurance is lapse. But that's on a special term though, as she was explaining.
Depends. Because
Yeah,
if
it
you have a
depends.
policy that does not carry cash value, doesn't have
Then
any cash value. So it depends on what you have. So for things like that, we would have to talk one on one. I would have to look at what is on the system for you, and we talk going
evaluate it
forward,
from
right?
there. And you can contact her via her email, which is Vanessa_Barrett at
.com.
sagicor.com, or you can contact her via her cell phone number, which you will get later on, as well as her Instagram, which is repeat the Instagram.
Vanessa B. Dot
Yeah.
financial advisor.
Advisor, right? So you can ask all your questions there if you don't feel like this live has answered those questions for you. CM says, I'm gonna call you, Vanessa. I have a policy with Sagicor. I haven't paid the premium in a while, but they don't contact me, so I don't know the status of the policy or my money. So that's very good that you can reach out to let Vanessa check for you,
All
and she
right,
can
CM.
also adapt your portfolio as well. Remember, guys, Vanessa is the person to contact for all your insurance needs. So CM also says, see Vanessa give us our contact easily. CM, Vanessa have business number. I can't just give up my number like that. She have a business number. All right, Dandy Bunny says, great discussion. A lot of persons are not aware precisely, Dandy, and that's why I decided to have this conversation here on Naturally Candid. If you like this type of conversation, don't forget to hit like by supporting, comment as well, share with your friends so they can also benefit from this, because we want the information to reach as many people as possible. Vanessa can help them out immediately, and with this information they'll be able to make better decisions as it relates to insurance. Garthia Gowan also says, I have a question. How beneficial is the Sagicor insurance policy? Great question.
All right. So the Gold, a lot of persons hear investment and we flock to that investment.
Right.
However, a lot of persons weren't ready to invest. But because we all want to invest, we run to investments, right?
Not knowing anything about investment.
All right. No, not bashing anybody, because nothing tried, nothing gained.
Right.
However, what you have to think about is liquidity and your emergency savings. All right. No, let's say I earn $100,000 a month, and I invest $90,000 of that. That is $90,000 I've tied up in investment. Now, if something happens to me,
No
where will I get the money
emergency.
from? I'm going
Right.
to have to shell out that investment. And if the investment is down now because the market is down, then surely it's not going to leave a good taste in your mouth, right?
Okay, so before you even continue, just a quick clarification. So the Sagicor is somewhat like a unit trust, because I didn't look into Sagicor, so I'm asking.
Not entirely.
Okay.
The Sagicor, it does carry insurance because we are an insurance company at Sagicor. However, your Sagicor plan is a 10-year plan, right? So it is a monthly amount that you set aside if you know that you cannot do without this money. If you will have to dip into it, it might not be the best thing for you right then and there. It's very beneficial once you can actually leave it to grow, because trust me, when it reached that 10 years and thereafter, it is beautiful. As well as even before the 10 years, depending on the amount that you're doing per month, you can see where it really grows. But if it is a case where you will more than likely have to touch this money before the 10 years, being 100% real, it may not be the best thing for you. And I know there's a lot of misconceptions out there with the Sagi Gold, and it's because a lot of persons genuinely were not ready. But we have to really plan. So it's not that, hey, let me see a pay slip, give me a $5,000 a month towards that. That's definitely not how we're doing it in 2021 and forward. We're sitting down and we're going through expenses, we're going through our goals, and we're actually planning for things that actually make sense to your personal and individual well-being.
All right, so I have another question as it relates that. I'm sorry, but I'm opening so many cans of worms right now. I know that for some of these policies, they actually come with a little disadvantage when you want to withdraw from them before the actual tenure matures. So I want to know if someone should withdraw the money from the Sagi Gold before the actual maturity date. Would there be some type of penalties that are accrued to this policy?
There is an amount that Sagicor will hold on to as a penalty, if you want to put it that way. That's why it's important to have these discussions before as well. As I say, if you know you're going to have to touch it, I'm going to be realistic with you and say, hey, year 5, this is what Sagicor will hold on to as a policy fee. No, the longer you have the Sagi Gold is the less we hold on to. Right? So once you reach year 9, I think it's either 1 or 2%.
Okay.
That we hold on to.
But the end result of it is, if you know that you can't hold it out to the entire tenure of it, don't take it out, because Sagicor will charge penalties for this. And any banking institution at that, once you take out a particular policy, that has it's somewhat like a fixed type of policy, and if you remove money from it before the time when it matures, then there will be a charge for that. Yeah. So that's understandable.
And there are other things where you don't have to wait till 10 years. So really it's discussion. It really is just a discussion that
just
needs to be
see
had.
And it has to be on the goals that you have.
Right. Because there are things that don't require you to wait 10 years. You can get your money any day you want.
Right. Without
no
a fee.
No penalty.
Right. So N Boswell says, "My dead. I want that money while I'm alive, while I'm living."
When we're going to talk about the critical insurance.
So we're going to talk about that soon, because I actually have a question on that in itself, where we talk about the critical illness plan. But I guess where N Boswell is looking at is, the life insurance one is when you're dead, and critical illness one is when you're sick, so you really don't get to enjoy the money. So I guess for this type of thing now, I would just recommend that we look at investment parts for Miss Boswell there, where she want the money to use while she living. Yes, you can.
Can we just get the eyebrow raise?
Yeah.
And Boswell, there are options. There are some people who will never ever get sick, right? And at that time, once you have a policy that carries cash value, you can surrender your policy for cash. It does not go down the drain. So you're paying for the risk. And if the risk never happens, your money is not lost.
You still can get your amount that you put on your principal.
This is why it's important to have the conversation. Not only your principal, there's interest as well. Once you have the conversation, a lot of persons use their critical illness plan as pension supplement, because sadly, many of us wait until very late to start a pension plan. And when you start getting your pension, you realize it is $20,000 a month. What can $20,000 a month buy? No. Imagine when you are 65. So by then, it really is a light bill, right? So many persons at that time will say, hey, all right, I'm healthy. I hope nothing's going to happen to me. So I'm going to take the chance and surrender my critical illness policy for cash. You get a nice lump sum. No, you get that nice lump sum. I beg you put on a couple $100,000 if something should happen to you. It definitely won't cover treatment for a critical illness, but it can stop a gap.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Ione Patterson says, very informative. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. And Boswell also says, I know their names and them never leave nothing for me.
Sorry to hear.
They did, you know what? That's why you're going to change that cycle and you're going to create that type of platform for your family and future generation. And Basil also says, thanks though, very informative. I have insurance, but those were thoughts nonetheless. Yeah, and I think everybody got through that phase where they really ask themselves that same questions. Even you, Vanessa, ask yourself the same question, like, what may I do with insurance at 19-year-old? But
I
we
figured it
all,
out real quick because I was like, I
yeah.
have my little brother and not never put on for me. So
So you know why it was very important for you to have it. Abby Fletcher says, explain more about critical illness insurance. All right, we're not even about to wait on a question. Just explain about it because I had a question for it, but let's go. Let's just dive in because Abby Fletcher wants to know now.
all right, Abby. So critical illness insurance, this is the money you get while you are alive. Dependent on the critical illness plan you have, as soon as you are diagnosed, you can make a claim, right? As long as it is under the list of illnesses you are covered for.
But hold on, how long do you have to be paying it first before you can make the claim?
It depends. So there are plans where we call medical plans, which means you have to answer medical questions. You may have to do a HIV test. You may have to do a medical. You may have to do some other blood test. It's dependent on the person, their state of health. For that one, no, the wait time is 3 to 6 months,
Okay.
right? Anytime after that, you can make a claim and you get your money.
Okay.
There are non-medical plans now. These tend to be less expensive, but they are term plans, meaning they will last for a period of a certain amount of years. This doesn't go with you throughout all your life. It will stop at some point, right? Now, for those, you do not answer any health questions. You get approved for those like in no time. However, with those plans, the wait time is longer. Now, because they are non-medical plans, you don't have to ask questions. A lot of persons will wait until something happens to them to run and get insurance. So you will know that you felt a lump in your breast. You go, all right, I'm going to get insurance now. And I'm gonna go to the doctor next week, and then the doctor confirms, yes, it's cancer. You cannot make a claim that time and get the millions because it is a non-medical plan. You will have to wait. So anytime after 2 years, you can get the full amount. If you get diagnosed, because there are persons who honestly don't have that plan to say, hey, let me wait until, but it's based on affordability. So for those persons, no. If you are diagnosed anytime within the first payment and 1 day less than a year, you get back all the premiums you've paid thus far, right? So between now and right before it reach a year, you make a claim, you get what you paid thus far. Now, if you make a claim after 1 year up to a day before 2 years, you get 50% of what you're covered for. Right?
Oh.
So if your coverage is 3 mil, you get 1.5 mil. Anytime after the 2 years, you get in your 3 mil.
Okay.
But
Okay.
those plans do tend to cover less illnesses as well. This is why you get this while you are young and healthy, because as you get older and you start having health issues, it limits you to what type of plan you can get, and it certainly gets more expensive each day you wait.
So basically, these insurance companies, these mortgage institutions, them I try to take away all of our millions before we can actually turn millionaire.
Not
but
quite. It
but
actually can make you a millionaire if you're smart about
well,
it.
over time, but not in the now. But I get what you're
It is
saying
a
though.
plan that you answer health questions and you get diagnosed Next year,
No,
millionaire
but that's
girl.
it. No, me I talk about before the diagnosis because nobody not plan for sick and nobody not planning to die. So I'm
Mhm.
talking about like before, like the no. I know a lot of persons might say, "I'm not getting insurance no because I need all this money to create my wealth that I can live with." No, I know persons who are saying that.
Mhm.
I used to say that until I started seeing a lot of young people around me dying. I'm like, no. Me not like how that looks. So I have to hurry up and get my own down pat, and that is how I ended up getting life insurance, more so critical illness
Yeah.
insurance. But
But
I
not
heard it,
only that, Shannon, look at
yeah,
it doesn't have to be like illnesses like cancer. So we say, oh, this doesn't run
right.
in my family. It can literally choose it. Everyone has cancer cells. All right, let will come off a cancer. Look at the
In
young girl.
Jesus' name.
Look at the young girl that got burnt the other day. She was making a cup soup. She
Right.
survived for 11 days, and trust me, that girl was fighting so hard because regularly a normal person would not survive past a week.
No.
That girl was fighting. No, critical illness coverage covers major burns. Major
Okay.
burns is not something hereditary. We don't have
Mm-mm.
a burn gene in our body, but
Mm.
something that can happen overnight. Then what would you do? So I know, yes, you might be earning $40,000 a fortnight now, right? But if you get a
Mm.
critical illness and you cannot work the $40,000, what do you use to eat? So even if it means taking $2,000 to set aside, even though it's not going to give you the adequate amount of coverage, I always say $1 million is better than no $1 million.
Right, that's true. So I heard you say that there are different types of critical illness plans. So you might want to elaborate on that to let us know what are the different critical illness options. I know there's one, the triple protector, and there's a total woman. I think, yeah, that those are the two I know about. I don't know if there are more.
Yes, they are. So there is the triple protector. This is one of the term plans, which means you don't have to do a medical for this. It covers 9 illnesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is the total woman that covers pretty men.
15.
It's for women. It's called total woman, right? So
Eh.
it covers pretty much anything that can happen to specifically a woman, right?
So it's not like 15 illnesses only because I was told I think it was 15. So
Right.
one covers nine.
It covers 15 illnesses, and that is why mm, on a regular basis, ideally that wouldn't be the only critical illness plan you get, right? So you have an agent and you say, all right, we see the need for critical illness coverage. I'm not going to give you just one, may give you a piece of everything so that no matter what, you benefit. So there's the Ultra Lifeline 30 as well. Ultra Lifeline 30 covers 30 different illnesses,
Ooh, it's
right?
big money for that one, I suppose.
Not necessarily, the total woman is more expensive.
Really? Because I was turned off by the total woman, so I got the triple protector instead. But now I hear this ultra lifeline 30. That means some upgrade can do. So tell me a little bit more about each of them so I can know if I made the right choice or I need to make a different choice on one of these.
All right. So your insurance should grow with you as a person, right? So
Mm-hmm.
as your life changes, so should your coverage. Because if now you are you're making $5 million a year, surely you cannot have the same insurance from when you started as a teacher's assistant 6 years ago. Because at that time, you were not the principal, you weren't making as much. You did
Mm-hmm.
not own your own private school at that point, right? So now you have
Right.
more things to protect. It would mean that you probably upgraded your vehicle, you probably now own a home and have a mortgage to pay. So whatever critical illness coverage you have should be able to cover your expenses. Critical illness coverage, guys, is not only to pay a hospital and a doctor, right? Because while you are critically ill, yes, the hospital is paid, you are home. And while you are recovering, you need to eat. You can't be recovering and JPS lock off the light on you. You can't be recovering and you turn on the pipe and there is no water. So your critical illness coverage pays those bills as well as takes care of your expenses until you are able to physically get up and start working and earning again. No, we have different critical illness plans. We have the Ultra Lifeline 30, as I say, with the 30 different illnesses. that's a medical plan, you will have to answer some medical questions. Dependent on the amount of insurance you're getting. So the more insurance you get, the more requirements there will be, which should mean a HIV test. If you go over a certain amount, you may need to do a medical or a paramedical. If you go to a higher amount,
Excuse me.
bless you, you have
Thank you.
you have the HIV, the medical, this blood test, that blood test, but it's dependent on where you are going with the insurance, how high you're going. Right? There's a total woman, as you said, covers 15 illnesses. And there is the triple protector. There are also plans like the cancer protector, the maximum protector. There's so many different ones, and it really is dependent on, firstly, your age, if you can qualify for the plan. It also is dependent on your budget and what you want it to do. All right. So I definitely, what I don't want to do is to say too much about any one plan and have a person fall in love with it and cannot qualify.
Right.
Oftentimes people will say, why can't I have what my friend have? Because you probably either have something running in your family in terms of sickness, or you got cancer last year. We can't cover you for cancer when you have cancer. We cannot crash a car and call the insurance company and go, yes, so I crashed, so I'm ready for the insurance.
Yeah.
None of that.
Understood. Thank you so much. So basically, if you are interested in getting a critical illness plan, it would be best to speak with an advisor
You have to.
about this, so they can tell you if you qualify for that or if you don't. And hopefully that advisor is Vanessa. Like I said, you can contact her via email at vanessa_barrett@sagicor.com, and she will reach out to you as soon as you do. She also has her phone number, like I say. We're going to get into that later on in the live, because for her to be repeating it every minute is very frustrating. All right, thank you. So Abby, I hope that Vanessa answered that question for you. Just in a rarity said, Sagicor has family indemnity plan. Does Sagicor have family indemnity plan?
We do not have a family indemnity plan, but what we can do is insure your family, right? So we can insure
That's a good
everybody
one.
with the best indemnity plan that everybody have them on. Because really and truly, oftentimes indemnity plans are marketed around, and people believe that your indemnity plan is to bury the loved one. That's it.
Mhm.
Enough money to buy the goat, buy the casket, we're good, we're good. But what happened to after? What happened to the lawyer fees with the house that grandma leave? What happened to the loans? The one for something them are courts?
Yeah.
The loan does not go down with the family member, okay? And
I never thought about that.
fun fact, if you're a beneficiary for anything, you're also going to be the person who pays those debts, right? So there's that. Remember, remember that.
That in where you said the indemnity plan don't normally cover a substantial amount to really pay for those expenses. Understood. Understood. I never looked at it that way, and I'm sure a lot of you did not either. So that's a very good point of information. Thanks for that.
Think about the
Jess,
debts, people.
think about the date. Jess also says, if you get another covered critical illness, are you still covered after a claim?
All right. So you're asking, you have a plan that covers heart attack and cancer. If you get cancer and you make a claim, does it still cover you for heart attack? All right, Jess. So how that works is your critical illness coverage, you get the full amount on a check when you make a claim. So if you get the full amount, that means the plan is gone. Right? So what you can do at that time now is apply for additional critical illness coverage or a different critical illness plan. So you got a heart attack, you can get a cancer protector.
All right. So I hope that answered your question, Jess. If it hasn't, just state it down in the chat. I know that for indemnity plans, they're cheaper. Jess did also say that to me, that indemnity plans are cheaper, which is why a lot of people would definitely go towards that. And you can usually add more than one person's on this plan. But that's the point. They're so much cheaper that they get less money. And so less money means that less money to have after you finish paying all of the funeral costs and stuff. And if the person left you as a beneficiary and they owe a loan to it, you have to pay it back to finish clear it up. All right, so we have to think about that. Thanks for that point of information, Vanessa, because me nobody think about that, but that makes sense. And Boswell says, I have a critical illness policy for a long time now, never claimed on it. What happened for all these years and payments?
All right, so it depends again on which plan you have. If you never get a critical illness, you can surrender your policy for cash, which I would never recommend because it's usually when we start going up in age, we start having health issues. So
Right.
imagine you surrender your policy for cash at 69 and at 70 you get something. Probably by then you had used the money and you invest, because that's what I love to do, invest. And investing is great. But sadly, COVID-20 came. No. At
19.
that time we're like COVID-32. COVID-32 is here, right?
Okay.
And the market is down. Then that money you invested would also be not where
So,
you had put it from when you started the plan, right? So you have a critical illness policy for a long time, you never claimed on it. What happened to the money? If it is still in force, you are still covered. If it is not in force and you had surrendered it, that means you would have gotten back the cash. If it is a term plan that you only pay for a certain amount of years, a lot of those plans come with no claim bonuses, which means you will get back the money you have paid for your monthly payments.
oh,
So
wow.
it's like we're holding it. If something should happen, we give you these millions. If nothing happens, see your money here for the time you were paying it.
All right. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for that information. And Boswell say, a true Shannon, I need that money. And Boswell say, what happens when the policy is for a certain amount of money and you have long surpassed that in payments?
So if your policy is $1 million, but you pass $1 million, basically, I,
I
I
I think so.
Shannon, your screen is now black.
Yes, and I'm wondering why. I'm trying to figure it out. Go
Okay,
ahead.
and so is mine.
Hold on.
I stopped my camera and restarted it.
I did too. Go ahead and answer Nikisha in the meantime.
All right. So you said I have a critical. No, I answered that one already. What happens? Policies for a certain amount of money. All right. So let's say your policy is $10 million. It would depend on your age, because for you to surpass the $10 million, you would have had to be paying it for decades, right? So that's a little bit tricky. But at that time, if you realize that you've reached $10 million in payments, as I say, you can surrender your policy for cash. However, if your policy is $1 million, for you to pay and pay and pay until it reaches $1 million, that's going to take a good while, because that would mean your premium is really small. Because $1 million coverage, based on your age, you probably paid like $500 for it. Now, let me get my calculator out.
I don't understand why I'm not showing.
Probably can try stopping your camera and
All right,
start it.
that's all right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna remove myself from the stream and then rejoin the stream. So just answer in Buzzwell in the meantime, and then when I join on back, it will be better.
All right,
All
no
right.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nikisha. So if your policy is, let's say $1 million, and you're saying, hey, I'm paying this and I reach $1 million in payments, your premium is probably like $500, depending on your age. That means you would have been paying that for 2,000 66 years, right? So I don't know anyone 166-year-olds, but in essence, what I'm saying is for your payments to reach up to the value of what you're covered for is extremely rare, because that's the reason you have insurance, because in a certain amount of time, I don't see how it is easily possible for us to save what we would be covered for. Shannon, you are muted. I hope I answer your question.
Okay, there I am. Woo, all right, it's fine. Go ahead.
Yes, so I was finished answering Nikisha's question.
Okay,
Nikisha,
all
you can let
right.
me know if I answered that.
Yes, in the chat section. Llewellyn Young Sam says, how old can you get a life insurance policy? What's the age limit?
So different policies have different age limits. But a person can get insurance up to 80 years old if that person is in great health and can pass a medical. Up
So
to.
at 80 years old, you can actually apply to get a life insurance policy?
You have to be tip top shape, like almost perfect. And
Oh, wow.
by then, your insurance is a nice $40,000 a month. So don't play. Don't play with. Worse, if you smoke, you can just take it out of your mind. But don't play with this whole thing of waiting until I'm older or wait until I have
Yes, it's
children.
more money.
Right? When I just got insurance at age 19, I was paying $2,000 a month for a nice little amount of money. I may not stop paying it, because if I'm supposed to get that same amount right now at my current age, but I did do an upgrade, and person, tell you the truth, it's costing me 3 times as much. I'm not
But
old.
you have a reason. You have a reason
Never
behind that.
reason.
Mm-hmm.
I want us.
So that's yeah. So that different. But me, I have to go talk on that. I have to talk on that. All right. So N Buzzell says COVID-20 nah for load. Annette Powell says. Can you switch from an investment policy to a critical one?
You can't switch your policies. You can do away with one and start another.
Okay.
But I wouldn't just jump and say, yeah, man, let's do that. We have to talk.
Okay. CM, you're too outside, I know. We can see and hear you, Vanessa, so good. Exactly my point. And Basil says, okay, good. Kadechin says, you are back. Laugh out loud. Yes, Kade, I am back. But as it relates to the house, you said you tripled your policy because you want house. So may I have got to talk about that, come you want house too?
No, not to live in,
So,
not to live in.
of course not. Neither am I. But I'm just saying, you made a statement to that. How can that benefit you when you want to purchase your home, your investment home?
So you need it for the mortgage. You need collateral.
So you basically
because
triple it just so it balances out the amount for the mortgage or the amount for the loan for the house.
yes, I didn't triple it, I
Okay.
upgraded my coverage, and it's just that my age changed. So it's costed me 3 times. Me never
Oh,
chose that.
okay,
Me never
understood.
chose it. It just got more expensive.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I started earning significantly more, which means that if I get a critical illness, what I need to cover in expenses is more.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to make sure that while I'm recovering, my vehicle gets paid for. I can eat all the things that we still need to happen, whether we're sick or not. JPS is
That's a
not gonna
plan for
say
it.
JPS not gonna say Vanessa not feel well, we'll just skip the bill this month. It's not gonna happen. So
Right.
those are the things that we consider. But yeah, it does cost more, 3 times
Yeah.
as much. It bunny. So I remember. But yeah, it's something to consider.
And it depends on your circumstances as well.
It does.
And Basil says, talk about that triple thing. So I think triple thing as in the triple protector or the cost tripled as a result of her upgrading the plan. Specify that in the
both.
chat. All right, go ahead, Vanessa.
All right. So the triple protector is a critical illness plan. It covers 9 illnesses, right? there's a wait period. So if you are to have to, the cost tripled. All right,
Cost
cool.
tripled, yeah.
My age changed. I was 19 then, and I'm now 26 years of age.
We're
Right?
only we get
Are
old.
you old, girl?
We
I'm
are get
fresh.
old.
Talking about
Yeah, get old. So come up a calendar.
what?
Go ahead.
No, I will just print another. But yeah, the cost changes every day you wait because um I was having the conversation with a lady the other day and she is 54. Did a proposal for her to say 55 and she's so angry. What do you mean? I'm not 55. I'm like, you're 6 months to your next birthday. So insurance rates you as being a year older. So the longer you wait, the closer you get to your birthday, even before you officially reach the age, you are the age because you are closer to that. So the longer you wait, the more expensive it is because you do get riskier, right? It's just like when a baby is just born, they're more susceptible to a bunch of different diseases. And as you get older, you can fight off certain things. But as you start getting even older, as an elder, if you want to call it that, then it's like you go right back to being a child. It's like you can almost catch anything. So the risk changes throughout your life, and that is why it gets more expensive for you. As well as at some point in every single body's life, we become uninsurable. And it's either because of age, we are too old for insurance, or we are too sick. It doesn't mean you have to get a critical illness because it's in your family or you're diagnosed with something, but it could be something like an accident that leaves you paralyzed. If you have an accident that leaves you paralyzed, I cannot give you a critical illness plan that covers paralysis. So right there, that's no longer an option for you. And that's something that you did not cause. That's something that does not run in your family. That's something you had no control over. It's just somebody don't know how to drive one day and you end up get the blunt of that.
Right. And that's an unforeseen circumstance. So
It
while
is
we're there planning for having life and we're good now, we have to plan for what if something negative happens. I remember there was a young lady who the bus literally just drive over. She was walking and the bus just the car down and drive over there. The driver didn't see her walking along the road, and that for situations like those we need to have insurance to pay for them.
and there are many
Um
things worse than death, guys. I tell people all the time. There's so many things that are worse than death.
Not being broke.
Like being broke, being sick and broke. You know how much people want dead right now and can't dead? That
Yeah.
them family now take them off of life support and them as a please.
Yeah.
It's
So that's
it's
one of
it's
them.
rough, and the best thing you can do is protect yourself because if you cannot call a friend and say lend me 50 grand, what makes you think that if you get a critical illness you can call them and say lend me $5 million?
That not going to work. Nobody not have $5 million lay down like that unless you're rich.
In a
But yeah,
panoramic,
you're right for say it's a panoramic. Just in a rarity says would not encourage anyone to end their policy though. Try and get the other one for what they can afford. Precisely.
right?
Add instead of subtract. Derval Taylor says, I guess it's just business, but I don't think sickness and death watch age. Many young dying from disease more than the old. That is so true,
Exactly.
which is why Vanessa is saying that it's important, no matter the age, for us to get insurance because any card can play. You can be well today and tomorrow you're sick. All right.
That's rough.
So I guess let's go fast because I thought this would have taken 1 hour. So I'm just going to run through the other questions them quickly and
Sure.
then let's see what can happen. So what are the benefits of insurance? I think you've covered that already. In terms of the benefits, you said that sometimes we need it for those unforeseen circumstances, home ownership, and some other investment options. What are the different types of insurance available? Also, we seem to have covered that too. Who are qualified to apply for life insurance?
Pretty much anyone, depending on the plan.
Okay.
As I said, it's just that at some point throughout our life, we become uninsurable, right?
Right.
So it's either you're going to get too sick or you're too old. But it really would depend on the person, because what I can get may not be the same thing that my neighbor can get, because maybe my neighbor has everybody in her family has cancer. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe she even can get what I get, but she's going to pay more for it because it's just a matter of time before she gets it too.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, understood. Akeem A. Smith said, so basically having the critical ultra more important. Akeem, it looked like it came late because Vanessa was saying that she would have to assess the situation first and then should be able to advise you as to which one would best suit you. She doesn't want to go too much in depth in these individual ones and you go fall in love with it and you cannot
And
qualify
you
for
cannot
it.
get it right.
Right. So speaking, having a dialogue with her and informing her about your situation will help her to best advise you as to which one you should choose. And you can contact her via Vanessa underscore Barrett at sagicor.com.
Yeah.
Guys who are just joining, don't forget to hit the like on the live, subscribe, share with your friends, and also comment as you are rightfully doing right now. Thank you so much. So that answers Akim's question. Derval asks you, what about if you are insured overseas but you move back to Jamaica? I
In
think I
regards
had
to what?
I think I had a question like that. I think he's saying, what about if you are insured overseas, like I get overseas insurance and you move back to Jamaica? I don't understand if you're saying that you're insured from Jamaica and moved overseas to live over there. I
Well, he
don't
said,
know.
what if you're insured overseas but
Overseas,
move
which
back to Jamaica?
right.
So are you saying what happens to your insurance when you reach to Jamaica? I
That's a
don't
thing.
know,
I
because it
think
would be dependent on who the provider is and what
right.
the benefits are. I know, however, if you get insurance in Jamaica, in particular to the company I work for, which is Sagicor, and it follows you no matter where you go as long as you pay the premiums.
Right.
Oftentimes we go to a different country, and because we are not citizens the second we go there, or maybe we are citizens but we don't have access to every single benefit just yet, it would be a good idea to hold on to your insurance, because a check is a check is a check. And if you get sick, no matter where you are in the world, as long as you can make the claim on your Sagicor insurance, you get
Then
your
you should
money.
be good. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Vanessa. Um, yes, I think that was what he was asking, though. But then it also depends on your insurance entity.
Oh, he asked, do you still get another insurance in Jamaica? It's up to you. It's up to you.
Oh,
We would have to assess what you're covering, because you can be overinsured too.
really?
And we don't want to overinsure you.
People can be overinsured?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Boswell
Can be
says,
over and underinsured.
what's the process to insure another individual?
It's pretty much the same as insuring yourself. They would need to sign the papers. If you're going to be the one who's controlling this, you're the payer. Some information from your personal stuff will have to go on the application as well. But it's pretty much the same. If they dependent on their state of health, they might have to do a medical or a certain test. It's pretty
Okay.
much the same.
Okay, and Akeem Smith says okay. CM says so you have to pay. So you have to pay to insure your new home worth $15 million and buy additional life insurance worth $15 million as collateral to the mortgage company or bank. Or what is no CM? No, you wouldn't have to pay an insurance for that. If you're going to use the insurance that you already are paying for, your life insurance that you already are paying for, you would just attach it as collateral to your mortgage loan. So it's not that you're going to
Right.
pay an additional insurance for that. You would pay an additional insurance for that if you did not tell the mortgage provider that you would like to add your actual life insurance as a collateral.
You want to assign it, right?
Right,
And
right.
creditor life insurance works out to be more expensive most
Expensive.
times.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to be paying for insurance, please let it be a personal insurance that has many uses.
Right. So I think CM might understand that. No. Natanya Walker says, can you do another live as it relates to home ownership? Natanya, I actually did a live on how to own a home in Jamaica. So you can check out that live when you're through watching this one. And I'll also be doing another upcoming live that is a follow-up of that live. So you can stay tuned for that. Derval says, do you still get another insurance in Jamaica? So you answered that already, Vanessa. N Boswell says, yes, CM. No N Boswell. It's not no yes CM. It's not a separate insurance if you decide to add your actual life insurance as collateral on
All
your
right, so
mortgage loan.
I think I probably need to explain again.
Yeah.
All right,
Go through that
so
again.
a lot of persons plan on using their NHT benefits, so let's just talk from that way. No, the most NHT will give any one person 6.5, right?
Yeah, that's the maximum, yes.
Oh, a message just popped in. All right,
Oh.
so God bless when you can find a $6.5 million home.
And,
All right, so NHT partners with JN and other mortgage houses, right?
right.
No, let's say the home that you have fallen in love with is $20 million. 20 million minus 6.5 million, that's an additional $13.5 million that you will need.
Mm-hmm.
No, NHT will always insure the 6.5 they are already lending you. What is not automatically insured is the 13.5 mil that you are going to be getting from the mortgagor. Right? No, it's not two different mortgages you're going to pay now. NHT will work it out and you just pay one mortgage. Once you pay that money, they work that out on the back end. Right? No, this 13.5, what the mortgagor is going to do is drop some creditor life insurance in it. Just like how when you're getting a small loan, you need guarantors, you need collateral, you put up your car, your furniture, this and that. No, a mortgagor does not have time to count how many couches you have. So what they will do is drop the collateral in your mortgage payment as creditor life insurance. So what it means is if you pass on, this home is paid for. No, to avoid the creditor life insurance, you get the $13.5 million in your personal coverage, right? So you come to Sagicor and you get insured for $13.5 million for the home. If you have children, I could never be responsible to give it a dead 13.5 because not only the house need to get paid for, children need to go to school and eat same way, right? But we're talking about just doing this for the home. So $13.5 million, we write that up, you're approved at Sagicor. You assign it to your mortgage as collateral. What you're doing is proving to the mortgage that, hey, if something happens to me and I die, Sagicor will pay a check of $13.5 million. If I've been paying for 5 years and all I owe you on that is $10 million, then what will happen is the mortgagor will take the 10 million that is owed to them, and that's an additional 3.5 that goes to your beneficiaries or whoever you say it must go to, right? So the more you pay off the mortgage is the less the mortgagor is holding on to in terms of your personal insurance. Following? So let's say you reach all the way down to $5 million, that's all you owe them, right? So what would be left is 13.5 minus 5, that's $8.5 million insurance that will go to your beneficiaries because all is owed to the mortgagor is $5 million. So when you assign your personal insurance as collateral to a mortgage, what happens is the mortgage house will have to recalculate your monthly mortgage payments. They will have to say, all right, he or she is not using our creditor life, cross it out. They can't charge you for that anymore, right? So your mortgage payments works out to be a lower amount. And
Wow.
that's what it means to use
Wow.
your
So
insurance as collateral.
So they wouldn't have to pay for the one that come with the creditor's insurance. Wow, so much wealth of information today. And Boswell says, referring to using the life insurance for the home ownership. Okay, I think you covered that. What is not encouraged in Boswell? You said, but that's not encouraged, Shannon. Jeffrey Solan says, Blessings all. I am late. You're never too late, Jeffrey. There will be a replay of this live for whatever you have missed. But being that you just joined, welcome and hit the like on the live. Make sure you subscribe. I know you're subscribed already. Share it out with your friends so they can join in as well. Miss Williams says, just joining. Hi, Miss Williams. Welcome. Miss Williams also says, as a homeowner, how much will NHD loan you to purchase another home? So I can answer that question. Miss Williams, NHD only gives loans to first-time homeowners. However, if you're already an homeowner, after a certain period of payment to the NHD, they will give you an home improvement loan. You may be qualified for an home improvement loan. All right, but NHD only gives loans to first-time homeowners. They don't give loans for you to purchase another home under their regime. Unless you do some bundle or something, but it's not the case. All right. N Boswell says, if you are doing joint financing, you will insure for the full amount. Yes. If you are doing joint financing, then you would get a full insurance from the lending institution or the mortgage provider. But that can also be used with the same insurance that Vanessa is saying. If your partner can get the same insurance and you get the same insurance, then I really don't need creditors insurance. So I don't know if that covered it. Vanessa, help me out here. Did I do that justice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if you're
Okay.
doing joint financing as it relates to NHT, 6.5.6 plus 6.5 is $13 million. And if the home is $20 million, that's still
Still
7 mil.
need an
That's out.
additional 7 mil. Yeah.
Right.
So that's another thing to consider. And Boswell says, yes, that's a separate insurance. Thought CM was referring to the use of her personal insurance to cover same. No. Danian Ilton says, very informative live. Thank you, Shannon. You're welcome, Danian. And Danian is my uncle, y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. CM says, so why they can't use the house as collateral? All right, so why they can't use the house as collateral? Why I need to assign my insurance to the mortgage company? Because CM, hypothetically speaking, you don't own the home yet. You own the home when you finish pay it off. So really and truly, the house belongs to the mortgage providers because they are the ones who loaned you the money to pay for the home. So them are gonna have the title and everything. So realistically speaking, the home is theirs, but you just occupying it for a certain time until you finish pay them. So that is why you have to use your life insurance as collateral, just in case something should happen and you're not able to pay the monthly mortgage anymore. That life insurance will.
Shannon, your audio is gone. Yeah, here
I
now.
was getting a call, so I guess that chipped in just now into the live. So just in case something should happen, CM, at least you know you have the life insurance that would pay off the mortgage loan and the house would still belong to you. Bank can't come take it from you or anything because they already covered it with your insurance. Daniel Ilton says, awesome. Thank you. CM says, N Boswell, I am a man. No, her. CM, I thought you were her too. You remember the first time you joined the live, I thought you were a female. All right, Miss Williams says, thank you, Shannon. You're welcome, Miss Williams. And Boswell said, noted, sir. CM never knew. And Boswell, yup. CM said, cool. Miss Williams, I have my kids and would like to purchase a piece of property or house for my eldest son. Then you can go ahead and do that. I did a live how to own a home in Jamaica before, and we spoke about the different options that you can pursue in order to own home with different entities. So we have different banks that will give you different loans to purchase homes. So guys, it's not just limited to the NHT, it's just that with the NHT, you get a smaller interest rate and you are able to pay on the reducing balance, which would mean you can pay to the principal directly instead of paying interest first. Miss Williams also said, what advice would you give? As it relates to that, Miss Williams, like I was saying, there are other lending institutions. You can check out my previous live, how to own a home in Jamaica, and that will give you all the advice you need where this is concerned. A lot of different institutions are out there, like VMBS, Jamaica National is a very good one. JMMB has started to provide this. As Vanessa said, they do also offer home ownership policies at Sagicor. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that a little bit more for Miss Williams' sake, Vanessa.
Right. So once you are going to be getting a mortgage, you will need to have the equivalent in life insurance. So apart from what you are leaving for your beneficiaries, you will need some insurance to assign to your mortgage, because if you do not have this personal insurance, you cannot escape it. You will be paying for insurance one way or another. It's just that it will be creditor life, which most times works out to be more expensive. And after you have cleared the mortgage, so you paid all your mortgage payments and now the home is yours, that insurance amount, it's nowhere to be seen. It's done. It's gone. As opposed to using your personal insurance, once you have finished paying off the mortgage, the policy is now yours. So at that point, you can use that same life insurance policy and put on another mortgage. This time you have a home that you are going to earn rental income from. And you're not having to pay creditor life. Probably by that time you're 50 something, 60 something, 40 something, you finish pay off one mortgage, and now you just have some rental income going for you. And it lines up right around the time it would be close to retirement. So right there, you have a pension supplement. Say life insurance is far past just, hey, it's something if I should die. You actually need it while you are alive if you are going to be a homeowner.
And then a question just came to me with what you said, Vanessa, and I'm sure a lot of persons might have the same question, but I think I answered it in my head too. And that question is, why do I really need insurance for a home that I've already paid for? But then again, uncertain circumstances can come, like the house burn down and stuff like that, and you need that money to rebuild. So I think it's important to still have insurance on the home, whether or not you finish paying for the house. So for those persons who took creditor life insurance, you can ultimately, after you finish paying for the home, attach your own life insurance to it just in case of anything as collateral. Just saying, just for those who might be wondering, like, why do I need to have insurance after I've finished paying my loan? I do also know that there are a lot of persons who are afraid to finish clearing their mortgage because they're afraid to lose the insurance. But you can still add your personal insurance to
But
it
what's
regardless.
funny is, even if you clear, whether or not you clear your mortgage, you don't get any money after creditor life insurance.
Nope.
Not a dollar, because
Not that I know of. I would have to look into it.
no, I'm telling you, it's not that way.
Mhm.
So it only covers you for what you owe in the mortgage, right? So if you reach year 20 and what you owe on your mortgage is $5 million, is $5 million it cover you for. Now is what, March, April come, one more payment gone. Now you only owe 4,950,000.
No man,
That's what cover you for.
but what I'm saying that I need to look into is all that money that was paid for creditor life insurance. Once the payment for the mortgage is done, that money that we paid, that base amount per every time we paid for the mortgage, would that be returned back
No,
to us?
ma'am.
And that's what I don't know. That's why I
It's
was saying that's
gone. Me
something I
telling
need to
you.
look into.
I'm telling you, that's how it works. It's gone.
And that's just
What are you gonna get?
wrong.
It's
That's just
gone.
wrong. Because if I finish pay off the house, like,
That is how they make money,
supposed
to
to get
lend
back the
other
money.
person's money. That is why you use your personal life insurance.
That's another thing to point out. So you see, guys, there's a lot of gems that is being thrown out here for your knowledge. If you like this content, don't forget to hit like on the live, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends so that everybody can learn. Like, why we're gonna keep the information to ourselves. So CM says, exactly. So all them need to do is sell the house and get their money. Right. But then why would you buy a house to just sell the house unless you're doing it as a kind of investment type of thing where you buy the house, fix up the house, sell it, get back the money, buy a next house, fix up the house, sell it, get back the money, because people do that for a living.
I
So
think
if
what he's saying, Shannon, is why the bank require collateral if they can just sell the house and pay themselves. Why they don't do that is because, what the man name was say, I never me saying you go do it. It's not the bank did
Mm,
ask you to buy a house. Who tell you so the people them want to go
and
find
that's what
time to
I'm
liquidate
saying.
house? Like
And that's what I'm
you,
saying. You
you
go
are the
take
one
out the
who took the
house.
house. So for a bank to put a home on the market, advertise, even something as simple as one post in the paper, that's costing them money, right? So what the aim is, if something happens to you, the house is paid up. You know, just have to make sure say there is money to pay for lawyer fees and so forth, so it passes on. Because really and truly, the bank is not waiting there going like this to take your house. Ideally, that's not what would happen, and things are not immediately liquid, right? So it's not a case where say, oh, you can't pay the mortgage, I'll just take the house and sell it. Those things take time. And even if it is a week that the bank did not sell the house, that's a week of them losing money. So
Right.
there's that.
Which ultimately acts at a disadvantage for them. So them don't want to go through all that process, so they try to get themselves together before they even give you the money to get the house. Miss Williams said, hold on, me skip Oli. Hold on, let me go down a little. Kimberly Walker says, I'm late. You're never too late. And plus, I'm going to be posting this so you can always watch the replay. Kimberly says, I'm sorry. That's fine, darling. Kimberly, yes, you were calling me while I was on the live, so I couldn't get to answer. I hope this is recorded. Yes, it will be posted after we are through. And Boswell said, them steal it. Laugh out loud. You're such a devil's advocate. What's going on? The credits of life disappears after scam after, right? So scamming that. And a lot of people don't know so scamming. So then again, what a sense of getting credits of life insurance, because they must scam you. So might as well let us
Hello,
choose
stop
the
calling the people
scam.
them thing a scam.
So might
I
as
mean, technically it's not a scam because what you're doing is paying for the risk. However,
it's a
it's not
scam.
beneficial to you. So
It's a
don't do
scam.
it.
It's just a white collar
Don't do it.
scam. It's a
Don't do it.
scam, just a white collar scam.
It's
Okay.
not beneficial to you.
It
So
don't beneficial. So just take the insurance. That's
don't do
gonna
it.
be beneficial to you where you know you can get that back after you finish. Pay it. Plus you're gonna pay a cheaper mortgage. So it work out win-win situation. Miss Williams said, thanks again. You're most welcome, Miss Williams. Sam says, so can you claim on that life insurance while you're paying your mortgage?
The life insurance that you assign as collateral,
You can pay on the balance. I don't think you can pay on the coverage for the
you
mortgage.
can't claim for your life insurance. You're dead.
Mm.
You're
No,
dead.
so hold on. I think what
So
is
what
come
happens
again.
is if you have a $15 million mortgage and you have $15 million life insurance,
Insurance.
it will pay up that mortgage and the house pass on to your beneficiaries. That is why I'm saying if I'm working with you as a
Have more.
responsible advisor, I know you need $15 million to assign to a mortgage. I cannot give you the dead $15 million knowing you have a child. Yes, the child would have a house, but what does he eat while he's in the house, right? So if daddy takes care of $2 million worth of expenses per year, right? And this is just for the child, no bills and everything. Then we have to make sure that your insurance is right up there to not only pay for the home, but also there's something left for your beneficiaries to get.
Right.
So if you pass on, the amount on the mortgage goes to the mortgage. If you're using your personal insurance, the more you pay off the mortgage, the less the bank can take to put to your mortgage.
All right. So let me ask you a question now, Vanessa. I think this is a follow-up question to what CM asked. So what if your mortgage is $15 million and you took out a life insurance policy that is $20 million? Can't you claim for that 5 million, the additional 5 million in the case of an emergency or a critical illness?
No, a critical illness insurance policy is different from your life
Or so
insurance policy.
you can't add it
You
to the
cannot use a critical illness policy as
to add.
collateral on the life insurance because we never know when a critical illness will
Might
hit.
come.
And the
Okay.
point of having critical illness coverage is to use it. So we can't assign it to anything, right?
Okay.
So you would have your life insurance that is assigned to your home, and you have your critical illness insurance. And if you get critically ill, that money pays the hospital, the doctor, it pays some of your bills, and it pays your mortgage payments for another 2 years, 3 years until you're able to work just the same.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for that clarification. But what if it, all right, so just being the devil's advocate here, but say for example, you attach a life insurance that is $20 million, the mortgage is $15 million. Would you be able to claim $5 million in the case of an emergency?
You cannot claim any face amount in the face of an event of an emergency, right?
Okay.
So if I have life insurance that is 20 mil and I assign it to a $15 million mortgage, that would mean if I pass on,
Then somebody
bank,
get 5 million.
the bank can only get what I owe them. They cannot take
Okay.
my full 20. So the five
Okay.
would go to my beneficiaries,
Okay.
right?
All
Mhm.
right. Thank you so much. CM says if critical, so I guess that covers the answer for CM because it says if critical illness arise, critical illness plans cannot be attached to mortgage.
Critical illness
Uh,
insurance, life insurance,
two
two different
different.
things.
All right, understood. And Boswell says, oh, Sagicor has a saving aspect on one of their creditor life insurance. Oh, Sagicor has a saving aspect to one of their creditor. Would you like to expound on that, Vanessa?
And you can get that. So Vanessa, what you say is if we
So
use a
you can get that.
insurance, you can have that back. I'm not sure if I understand.
So she's
So
saying that from Sagicor creditor life
we
insurance.
don't have creditor life insurance
Okay,
when it
okay.
comes to straight life insurance because creditor life insurance is not sold just like that. Like, hey, here's some creditor life insurance. It only comes about when you are making that
Purchasing
step
a
of
home.
home ownership,
Okay.
right? So if you're talking about from a mortgage standpoint, if you're getting a Sagicor mortgage, then mortgages come with creditor life. So that might be what you're talking about.
But is there a savings component to that?
To creditor life insurance?
Yeah.
No, because it
I
is
think that's what
covering,
she's asking.
right. It's covering any mortgage comes with creditor life. So whether it is Sagicor mortgage, whether it is JN,
NHA,
whether it
JN.
is JN, whether it's VMBS, it's an option, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, creditor life coverage does not come with any access to a unit trust. It doesn't come with no savings. Their main aim
It's
is,
just
hey,
insurance.
Shannon, if you're dead, this house pay for me as Mr. Bank, Mr. Mortgager. I don't have to do any extra work. So
Right.
that's why I think get your personal because really, creditor life insurance is just to take care of that. They could care less about how much years of school your daughter has left or that your son needs to do a back surgery next year. That's not their
Careless. They just
concern.
want to make sure that their backs are covered
That is
and
it.
their money is protected. All
That
right,
is it.
thank you so much. Let's see. So Vanessa, what you say if we use our life insurance, you can have that back. That's what N Boswell asked. So if you use a life insurance, you can have that back. Yeah.
As
After the
collateral,
loan pay off. Yeah.
it's yours. You get it back. They can't hold on to it because you don't owe them
You don't
anything
owe them
else.
anymore. Mm-hmm.
So that's why you can use it on
You can let
another
it
mortgage if you want.
you can let it stay if you want and you can take it back if you want.
Right.
And Basil says, I don't remember if you said that already. Okay, that's the same question. Shamari Emily says, I am here, best friend. Hi, Shamari. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. And Basil also says, yes, white collar. Because if I finish paying, why you gonna take my money? I agree. And Boswell, like, why you gonna take my money if I finish paying? Give me back my money. Shamari says, I love this information. Thank you, Shamari. And Boswell said they have one. And Basil say, well, a life insurance, yes, for mortgage. Okay. Right,
Okay.
Vanessa.
All
So
right,
she's
cool. So
agreed.
we're good
She's in
on that.
agreement with you, yes. And it Powell says, our critical illness policy available for children.
I think I know Miss Powell. Hi, Miss Powell.
Yeah.
Yes, Sagicor has a new plan. It's a child protector. So you see, just like how when we are just born, we are susceptible to certain illnesses, and as we get older, we get tougher, and our body learns to fight certain things. So we grow out of certain things, and as we get older, we go back to kind of like a childlike state. So there are certain illnesses that are way more likely to affect children, and for that, we do have critical illness plans for children. The child protector, in particular, it covers it carries life insurance, it carries critical illness coverage, as well as it gives access to the unit trust, and it also has in-hospital income. So if your child is hospitalized, you get a percentage of the money. However, that is dependent on how much insurance the parents have. Your child cannot have $10 million insurance and you have two, right? So your child will be able to get half of what their parents have.
Wow, I didn't even know that. So thank you for that wealth of information. So children now have an a policy for if they have critical illness. Annette Powell says, "Hello, Vanessa." All right, so that brings me down to our final two. Well, we have a couple, but I'm gonna skip some because we already answered some of them. So let me just go straight into this one. What are the requirements that people need to have when applying for life insurance?
So you need your ID, TRN, proof of address, right? Depending on your jobs, you may have additional requirements.
All right, thank you so
Right.
much. I see that you made a post on your Instagram about taking out life insurance before doing a COVID-19 test. Could you explain to the viewers why it is important to do so? Because we're in a pandemic.
In a
We have to
panoramic.
know. Yes. Yes.
All right. So before you get the COVID-19 vaccine, it is very important to make sure you have insurance in place. Reason being, with any vaccine, not just COVID-19, anything that is experimental, we don't know how we will react to it. I have family members who have gotten the vaccine and they're fine. I also have friends whose family members got the vaccine. And one of them even said, boy, I better may get the COVID because I feel like I have it. So the point is we don't know how our bodies will react to it, right? And I'm seeing
Right.
in the news where some persons, females in particular, are now having breast cancer issues. Don't know how true it is. Some reports are there that says lung problems arise. There are some reports that say heart problems arise. Now, as I say, we can't wait to look. We'll crash the car. For call the car insurance company and say, yeah, the car crash. Like we need insurance. It's the same thing. So if you go ahead and take the vaccine and you know have developed heart problems, maybe it's not the vaccine cause it, maybe you always had something that was probably not 100% healthy inside of you, and some ingredient just triggered that negatively. Then let's say just like that you have heart problems, I cannot give you coverage for heart problems because you have heart coverage then. You have heart problems then.
Okay. So that basically clarifies it. So guys, before you take a COVID-19 test or the COVID-19 vaccine, get insured. All right, because there's a high possibility that you might not be qualified to get insurance after.
Uninsurable. Oh, and the
Right.
next thing I want to tell you, almost anyone can get life insurance. However, critical illness coverage is a privilege. Not everybody will get it. Not everybody qualifies. And as I say, at some point in everybody's life, we become uninsurable, right? So you want to make sure that you have your critical illness coverage down pat, especially if we don't necessarily believe in leaving money after we die. You have to make sure that you have your critical illness coverage in place. Something I get often is, I don't have children or I don't have dependents. Why do I need life insurance or critical illness insurance? It's all the more reason to get it because you do not have somebody to take care of you. So you have to be able to pay somebody to take care of
Take
you.
care of you,
So
right?
there's that.
That's an interesting point as well. Shamari Emily says, I need mine. Definitely, Shamari, and you can contact Vanessa. Vanessa is here for you, and you can contact her at Vanessa_Barrett@sagicor.com
Yep.
via email, and she'll at the end of the live she'll share with you other contact information like her Instagram handle as well as the number. Ramon Cox says, very informative. Thank you for joining, Ramon. Please hit like on the live if you like the information. Subscribe, share with your friends, and thank you for coming. All right. So the next question is, can Jamaicans or people who live overseas still gain access to life insurance? Can
Can
Jamaicans
Jamaicans?
or people who live overseas still gain access to life insurance with Sagicor?
Yes, they can. However, What is the reason? Is it that they don't have insurance overseas? Is it that they want to insure family members out here? What are you referring to? Is it the person that is overseas that wants Jamaican
The
insurance?
person, yes, the person overseas that wants Jamaica, just in case they should move back to Jamaica or something like that. Just a scenario. If they have migrated, but they have intentions of moving back to Jamaica, can they gain insurance, a Jamaican insurance?
Yes, they can. They can once
Okay.
they can qualify for it.
Okay.
However, just like how once you get Sagicor insurance, it follows you wherever you go in the world as long as you pay your premiums. I would I wouldn't want to say assume, but it should be the same
All right.
for overseas as well. However, if that is not the case, then
So it just depends basically on the case.
right, I'm gonna try and put my phone number in my name here. So going forward, persons have my phone
Yes.
number.
Yes, please. Because I was trying to edit it in the chat section, but I'm not able to do so. I don't know why. Or maybe it's just me that know how to do it. So that's a good move. Thanks, Vanessa, for doing that. All
Let's
right.
say it. Let me put. You can go ahead, Shannon.
Okay, so I have another question. How long would it take for persons to benefit from their coverage from the start of payment? And I think you already answered that, but just to reiterate for those who have just joined.
Right. So that will be dependent on the kind of plan that you have. Some plans have a wait time of up to 2 years. If something is to happen to you between 1 year and 1 day less than 2 years, then you get half of the money. If you have a medical plan where you had to answer medical questions, then you get that payout 3 to 6 months, dependent on what is happening to
Happening.
you.
Okay.
Life insurance is right away, dependent on your plan. So if you get
Okay.
insurance right now and it is fully approved on Friday and Sunday morning your number call, then
Right.
your family get
The
that
money.
money,
All
right?
right. Thank you so much. All right. So what are some investment opportunities that comes with life insurance?
All right. So this is a part everybody waiting to hear.
I think so.
Okay, so once you have life insurance and critical illness coverage, there's access to a unit trust. Again, dependent on your plan. However, if you don't have a plan that carries a unit trust, there are other ways you can still invest, dependent on your goals and what you actually want this money to do. Right. So the basic thing is a unit trust. So oftentimes I hear people say, "Me get some money from my insurance," without canceling the plan altogether and surrendering it. Most times what they're referring to is the unit trust amount. So this is a monthly amount that basically has nothing to do with the insurance. It's just that it's a feature of the plan. And this is where you can set aside some money to a unit trust every month. What it is in essence is a pooled investment. So everybody in Jamaica who has some money in the unit trust, it will go to that pooled investment. Sagicor has a whole floor of persons that are dedicated to looking at these figures every single day, looking where to put the money, what is working best today, should we move it from there? All right, let's go a little bit more equity, let's go real
Wow.
estate. And basically, they're doing this on your behalf. So all you see is the returns. No, this is a safe, little to no risk investment. So it's not like you're going to put in $500 today and tomorrow you're going to see two bills, right? The
Okay.
the least you can see is what you put in. So it's a safe way to set aside some money. You can use it to constitute your emergency savings. Oftentimes, people think they will need to find more money. That's not necessarily the case, because if you already save $20,000 a month, $10,000 a month, you can save the same 10,000. Just send 5,000 to your regular bank account and 5,000 to the unit trust. So it's the same
Okay.
10,000. You never spend any more. And the thing is, it's growing at a high interest rate. The usual interest rate for a
You
regular
kind of, you
savings
kind of,
account.
you kind of broke up there just now. At and you.
Hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Yes.
All right. So the usual interest rate for our savings account is anywhere from 0.01 to 0.05. Um,
Nothing.
maybe like a 1%, maybe like a two. I've never seen a
Nothing.
2%.
I think it's at 0.00 and then the
Red
figure.
cent, red
Yeah.
cent. And then
Yeah.
you have beautiful bank charges where you get charged for transfer, charged for deposit, charged for
Yup.
withdraw. If they
Yeah.
say you're gonna log into online banking, you say, oh, you get charged. So yes,
Yup. And some banks
there's
charge
that.
you to save with them.
Right. And if you are saving your money in the bank for wealth building, you can't save your way to wealth. First of all,
Nope.
inflation is 5%. If your
So
money
it's
is making
against you.
if your money making 0.01%
You're already
interest,
losing.
you are far behind inflation and you
Mhm.
will not be able to buy bread next 2 years.
Right, precisely. So investments right too, but just make sure that you have your emergency fund before you delve into
And
the
your
realm.
critical illness
And
coverage
ah, defending.
is no, it's true because think about it. You're going to invest, all right? So you get burnt real bad. So you're going to call me and say, Vanessa, I need to shell out the investment. And let me tell you, if the market is down that day and all like you give me 200,000 and the market is down and it's 180,000, that's 20 grand less. You know how bad mega feel I give you that? Knowing that for the same money, I could have been giving you $15 million in critical illness. So there's something we call a financial priority pyramid. You cannot skip the steps and expect to be all right. You have emergency savings and insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Then you move to risky things because
Yep.
stocks and investment is speculative. You
Yeah.
don't know when you're going to make
And
back
it's
your
an and
money,
it's an aggressive worth of investment. So you can put in all your money today and lose the whole lot tomorrow. You,
dependent on the type of investment
yeah,
you have. Yeah.
you have to be very careful when it comes down to investment. It must be rule number one, it must be money that you can afford to lose. Right?
There we go.
So once you're not able to lose that money, do not delve into that realm until you are able to lose that amount of money. So that's a very interesting point of information. Thank you so much, Vanessa. I'm not sure if you completed that particular statement.
We'll finish.
All right. All right. So Ramon Cox says very informative. Thank you, Ramon. We try to be informative over here. Ramon Cox also says awesome move from these two young Jamaicans. I am proud. Bap mako papa kala little na Vanessa. And then CM says the live was interesting this week. Thanks for coming, Vanessa. Great idea for the live, Shannon. CM, my regular NC gang. Thank you so much for that. And Vanessa, CM, love you over here. So probably carry you back over here for a part two. You know, just saying thank you so much, CM. Inside with English says hi. Hi, Inside with English. I hope that you like this live. I hope that you subscribe to the channel, share with your friends. We are done. That was the final question. I did have a final question, but we already talked so much about it that I'm gonna feel like I must ask it. And that was if you can use life insurance on your home mortgage. So we've been talking about that all day. So I won't even bother delve into that again. So guys, oh, I don't know about you, but my brain is just filled with so much information, wealth of knowledge as it relates to insurance. I have a different perspective as it relates to insurance as well. Not that I did not see some of these, but it was definitely more added to my bank of knowledge. And Boswell says, thank you, Vanessa and Shannon. And Boswell, thank you for
You're
coming.
welcome.
And you're welcome. Andre Gauntlet says, very informal. Love it. I think it's informative. I'm not sure. But thanks so much on it. Inside with English also says, I'm late, but I'm here. Will rewatch. Thank you for that, Inside with English. Trust me, you want to rewatch this episode. CM says, are you gonna have the 9 p.m. live tonight? CM, you want me drop down there today? You want me drop down? Also,
Shannon,
with
you
it,
have time. You can go live.
hello, after the 2 hours worth of talking, CM, want me come back 9 p.m. tonight, come the 2 hours more.
Drink some
CM,
water. You have time.
CM now come back 9 p.m. tonight, but I will be coming back 9 p.m. next week. topic. Andre Gauntlet said informative. Thank you so much, Andre. I'm glad that you found this live informative. Same, a laugh out loud. Same, if I love you one more time, you are something else. All right, guys. So that's a wrap. We're not gonna hold Vanessa any longer. Thank you, Vanessa, for coming. Before we go though, I want to tell you guys that anything insurance or investment for Sagicor, you can contact Vanessa at Vanessa B. Financial advisor. She
I
have it
think
right
it's on the
there.
screen.
Yeah, she have it right there on the screen, and that's her Instagram handle. So any information that you want to get or gather as it relates insurance, Vanessa is your go-to person. All right. So I want to thank you guys again for coming. Thank you so much, Vanessa. I wish me the other gift like I can just pass through the phone right now to give you, because you take your time of your day and you came and when I asked you, Vanessa never questioned it. She never said, "Oh no, I can't make it today." She just said, "What time?" I would have scheduled the thing, and Vanessa was just there. Thank you so much for welcoming me and for being a part of this production. I hope that it was beneficial to majority of you who joined us. And I'm just feeling so overwhelmed with the amount of comments that I've seen. It surely shows me that you guys learned something, and as an educator, that is the best thing that can possibly happen. So thank you guys. Soon next week, 9 p.m. Just to close off the comments, CM says, haha, woy. And then Powell says, guys, was informative. Thank you for joining, Annette. And Donna Martin said, it's finished. Like she said, done already. Yes, Donna, we're done. You're going to always have this information, so you can go back and rewatch. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Vanessa. See you guys in the next live next week. Not same time, but same place, 9 p.m. All right, my darling. Love you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Shannon, for having me. Bye,
You're
everybody.
welcome, Vanessa. Bye. Yes, Vanessa, thanks for coming. Me never know Shannon know nice people like you. You're out of order,
They don't know the
CM.
history.
They
They don't know
don't.
the
You know
history.
what? One of these days I might just post the history because they don't know it. So I might just, All right. Bye, guys.